my beautiful friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about something that has been really popular on social media recently, and that is the quiet luxury trend. I'd love to hear what you guys think about this as well. I also think it's very interesting because in a sea of micro trends that cycle so incredibly quickly, if you're trying to keep up with all the micro trends, they will be over by the time you get the item you ordered in the mail. But the quiet luxury trend has been staying for a really long time. This has been talked a lot about for, I want to say, a year now, and I would argue it's making it even sort of less of a trend and maybe more like a sign of the times that we are in. So I think there are so many idiotic things around this trend, and I'm not going to defend any of that, but I definitely feel like this trend can be a really good way forward just for fashion as a whole. I think it's something that everyone should consider and think through. Quiet luxury is standing as opposed to loud luxury. It's supposed to be logoless and neutral, very, I want to say, almost anonymous, no loud colors, basics, very timeless pieces, and in that regard it is very much anti-trend in its essence. It also has this underpinning of if you know, you know, and these brands are now kind of ironically getting well known for nailing that quiet luxury aesthetic, because you see a lot of these brands repeated over and over again, the Row being one that has to be like the poster child for the quiet luxury look, but also brands like Max Mara, Celine, Laura Piana. Obviously I've seen that so much and I had no idea it even existed before this whole trend took off. Brands like Ferragamo, I've seen a lot of Totem as well, and these are obviously very expensive brands, and to the untrained eye nobody will know that they are, but the irony is that now people will know that they are because it's becoming such a trend. And this is definitely moving us into the most ridiculous part of this trend, and that is that it is often sold as a how to dress like old money. I don't even know if any of these creators that make this content even are old money, if they know this for a fact, I don't know, but the undertone is very much that old money is better than new money. I also think it's just a little bit funny that it feels like we're a bunch of people trying to dress like old money because we don't want to seem like new money when we are neither. That's just my opinion. I don't know these people's financial status, and it definitely gives off this vibe that you want to exclude people and be better than. And I don't know, maybe luxury became too sort of accessible. I know it's still an insane amount of money to buy any of these designer pieces. It's something that I think a lot of people saved for, and especially at the height of logo mania, if you bought even just one logo designer piece, I think the Gucci Marmont belt has to be very emblematic of this. You could wear that belt with pretty much anything, and it just made kind of every single outfit you owned into something that I'm in the know, I'm in this group, I'm on trend. I don't know if that pissed some people off. You're like more highbrow fashion because you're wearing designer pieces without any logos, so only other people that also wear those brands will recognize it, and you will somehow feel like you are superior and you're in like this higher, better group or class of people. And I don't know, to me the whole thing just screams insecurity and high school mean girls. I don't know, I could be wrong, but to me that is what it feels like, and I definitely don't want any part of that. Another thing, and I've seen a lot of people talk about this as well, is that it can kind of come off like cosplay rather than fashion. It just comes off like you're trying to dress as if you have a lifestyle that you might not have. It can look a little bit costumey, and I also just feel like I don't think you're fooling anyone. That's just my opinion. I am in no way qualified to say whether you can pass for old money or not. If it works for you, let me know. I'd be so curious to hear if this actually works. Of course, I am not denying that the way you dress can have a huge impact on how you are treated, and I'm not trying to deny any of that. I'm trying to say that I think there is far more to being wealthy than how you dress. I don't have very wealthy friends. I don't come from money whatsoever. The few times I have come into contact with people that have a lot of money. It's more this, I mean, you cannot replicate the way you go through life in such a vastly different way. I don't even think the clothes is what makes them stand out the most. It's the fact that you can't compete with an entire lifetime of a different way of living, different life experiences. Even if you're not diving fully into it, which I think might be a good idea not to, I think this is, at least it could be, a really great move in the right direction. When you see a lot of these pieces, they are so basic and for a lot of people incredibly boring. You have very classic timeless cuts, nothing that is too trend forward, nothing that is kind of leaning heavily into being very retro. It's very much things that would look just as boring or preferably timeless 10 years ago, and hopefully 10 years from now as well. Things like trench coats, straight leg trousers, button-up shirts, like the most basic simple pieces you can imagine. They're also very much in neutrals. If you see a lot of the Ralph Lauren campaigns, I mean, it's that. It's that. But if you actually do buy into this trend, it's probably such a timeless piece that you can keep it forever until it falls apart, because it's never going to read as, oh, that was part of that trend in 2023 when everyone on TikTok went mad for this one aesthetic. Which is why I think it's really, really good. We're just having too many micro trends and it's so damaging for just everything. And because these pieces are so neutral and so basic and so classic, you can really wear them again and again and again, whereas pieces that stand out much more, even though we shouldn't care, you're going to feel a lot more comfortable wearing something basic a lot of times rather than like a huge puffy sleeve red dress. I mean, that is something that people will notice and remember a lot more. I love my statement pieces and I would be so bored without them, but I think a focus on more timeless pieces to kind of support all the wild crazy items we have in our wardrobe is such a good thing. Another really, really key part of this trend is obviously to buy clothes that are just better. I don't mean to say that expensive clothes are automatically better. They're not. It's more difficult to find high quality clothes on a budget, but this trend is great for thrifting, which is another part of this trend that I think is fantastic. I don't see it kind of pushed as much, but I definitely think that because it's timeless, you can find thrifted pieces that are from a long time ago and they will be just as relevant to this trend, because I definitely don't think this trend has to be expensive, but it has to be high quality material, and especially focus on natural materials, so things like silk or linen, cotton, leather. I would say if you don't like to wear leather, even just skip the fake leather, just skip it. It wears so poorly, and here you want clothes that actually feel luxurious against your skin. I would say cashmere has to be like the #1 fabric for this trend, and for me personally, when I started to have higher expectations of my clothes, I started to just be a little bit more picky, because it's no longer just about how it looks, it's also about how it feels against the body. And things like tailoring and fit and just having buttons sewn on properly and straight seams, things like that, that to me really is the foundation of this trend. I would just forego the whole if you know you know and you have to be a part of these very popular brands to wear the quiet luxury or old money trend, whatever you want to call it. Skip all of that and just focus on clothes that are actually well made, honest. And I never ever would buy anything without turning it inside out, whip out the label. What is this made out of? I have seen a lot of very expensive polyester dresses. I definitely feel like if you're buying synthetic lookalikes for this trend, you are only fooling yourself. But if you want to participate in this trend and you're trying to stay on a budget, really take your time, find something that you could wear over and over and over again, something that will be a real workhorse in your wardrobe for day-to-day wear. I think we all have like a little bit of a talent for buying party dresses and things that are fun for special events, but for this trend, focus on something that you can actually get a ton of wear out of, so you can really, really enjoy it. kind of think through what quiet luxury means to you and how that would add something to your own life. Another thing that has been kind of in the back of my mind, I want to say like for a while, and that is the whole if you know, you know. To take an example, I don't bike. Not the loud ones and not the silent ones. So bicycles are not an interest of mine, and I'm not colorblind. I can see the difference of a red and a blue one, but like that's pretty much it. And people who have this as a really intense interest, they will know. I just know they will know the price of tires and different bikes and brands and seats and probably gloves. I don't know what else, okay? I don't know. And I honestly feel like that's the way a lot of people feel about clothes as well. Yes, it has a very large interest group. It's a large industry, but I feel like for most people, if you're really saving up to buy a t-shirt for 500 euros, who are you really fooling? Because I think most people in my life would look at it and think, oh yeah, I got the same one from H&M. So if you're buying into this trend, and especially the very, very expensive pieces to impress other people, I would really encourage you to think twice. Really slowing down on focusing on more timeless pieces, I think is fantastic for the environment, and I want to say it could be great for sort of social pressure as well. But then I don't think trends are gonna end with this. I don't think this is our last trend. I would love to hear what you think. I know I didn't kind of go too much into how to wear this trend and what defines it, but honestly there is so much content on that already. Little tip, if you want to wear this trend, you don't have to buy anything from them, but you can go to all of these brands' websites and you just look through their campaigns. But even just like looking through the shop and seeing how the models are styled, I mean, that's the trend. Go to Ralph Lauren, The Row, Max Mara, and just scroll and you will see what this actually looks like. So thank you so much for watching and listening to this rambling. I will see you very shortly in the next video. Bye!